Blood on white marble. Smoke over the Great Wall. A dynasty ending in a single night. By the end, you'll know the exact moment heaven withdrew the mandate and the name of the man who held the key. Think of it as China's Red Wedding, except the traitor opens the gate from inside the castle. You think the Ming Dynasty fell to rebellion. It didn't. You think it fell to foreign invasion. Wrong again. It fell because one general opened a gate. Not metaphorically, literally. He unlocked the only entrance the enemy couldn't breach, walked away, and let tens of thousands of cavalry pour through. The year, 1644. The place, Shanhai Pass, the eastern edge of the Great Wall. The man, Wu Sangui. Call him the Gatebreaker. His crime? Opening the gates of Shanhai Pass to Manchu invaders. His motive? Revenge. His result? 2 dead dynasties, 50 million corpses, a 267-year foreign occupation. Heaven's verdict? Traitor. Erased. One gate, one night, an empire erased. The pattern was already written. Spring 1644. The Ming Dynasty, 277 years old, is dying. Not from disease, not from famine, from rebellion. A bandit warlord named Li Zicheng has raised an army of starving peasants, deserters, and outlaws. They're marching on Beijing. The capital has weeks, maybe days. The Chongzhen Emperor, last of the Ming, sends desperate orders to his generals. Save the capital! Save the dynasty! Most ignore him. The dynasty's already dead. They're just waiting for the body to fall. But Wu Sangui doesn't ignore the order. He controls 40,000 veteran soldiers at Shanhai Pass, the fortress guarding the only land route between Manchu territory and northern China. But Wu had something the emperor didn't, a reason to hate Li Zicheng personally. Spring 1644. Li's rebel army storms through northern provinces. They reach Wu's hometown. His father, beheaded in the town square. His concubine, taken as war spoils. It wasn't strategy. It was wrath wrapped in self-importance. Li Zicheng just made an enemy who controlled the only thing keeping the Manchus out. Wu marches his army toward Beijing to save the emperor. He's 3 days away when news arrives. Li Zicheng's rebels have taken the capital. The emperor is dead, hanged himself from a tree in the imperial garden. The Ming Dynasty, over. Wu's choice now: keep fighting for a dead dynasty and die a pointless martyr. Surrender to Li Zicheng, the man who killed his father. Open the door to the Manchus, foreign invaders waiting across the wall. Every option is betrayal. But only one option gives him revenge. But heaven has its own laws. The mandate of heaven, call it divine admin password to the empire. Think of it as root access to the empire. Heaven grants the login. Heaven can revoke it. For 5,000 years, Chinese emperors ruled by this authorization. The rules were simple. Rule with virtue, keep the mandate. Lose virtue, lose the mandate. When heaven revoked the mandate, it didn't send a memo. It sent earthquakes, rebellions, famines, foreign conquest. The signs were never subtle. The mandate had killed 14 dynasties before the Ming. Wu would make it 15. The cosmic rule was absolute. Invite foreign invaders to solve a domestic power struggle, and heaven revokes the mandate. Permanently. No appeals process. Wu's about to break that rule twice. May 22nd, 1644. The gates of Shanhai Pass swing open. Not because the Manchus broke through, because Wu Sangui opened them. Shanhai Pass, the only open port in the empire's firewall. Wu just gave the attackers his login credentials. The deal: help me destroy Li Zicheng and I'll help you take China. Prince Dorgon, Manchu regent, accepts immediately. Tens of thousands of mounted warriors pour through the pass. White banners, composite bows, cavalry that hadn't lost a major battle in 30 years. 2 weeks later, Li Qicheng's rebel army crushed. 700,000 dead in the first betrayal, millions more in the second. The Manchus don't go home. June 1644. Manchu banners rise over Beijing. A 6-year-old Manchu prince sits on the dragon throne. The Qing dynasty begins. The Ming Dynasty erased. But Wu's first betrayal? That was just the down payment. The second betrayal would take 30 years to build and 8 years to burn. Wu's reward for opening the gate? The Manchus make him a prince, give him the entire southwest, Yunnan province, near absolute power, his own army, his own tax base, permission to crush any remaining Ming resistance. 1644 to 1664. Wu hunts down Ming princes, burns loyalist strongholds, destroys anyone who won't submit to Qing rule. He's useful, so the Qing keep him. But Wu isn't just a general anymore. He's a quasi-independent warlord. His reward? A quasi-kingdom in the southwest, Yunnan province, near absolute power, his own army, his own tax base. The Qing call him a feudatory, analogy. Think franchise owner with a private militia. You keep your territory, collect all profits, build your own army. Corporate can't fire you, yet. Wu rules Yunnan like a king, collects imperial taxes, keeps the money, maintains an army of 60,000 men, larger than most Qing provincial forces. Wu's private army, 60,000 soldiers. The emperor's entire northern force, 40,000. The Qing tolerate it. Wu's crushing Ming remnants in the south. He's still useful. Or so Wu thought. Can this arrangement last? The first Qing emperor dies young. His son, age 7, takes the throne. By the time the young emperor grows up, 3 feudatories dominate southern China. Wu in Yunnan, plus 2 allies controlling Fujian and Guangdong. Analogy. Think of them as franchise owners who stopped reporting to headquarters. They collect imperial taxes. They keep the money. They maintain private armies larger than the emperor's. Corporate can't fire them. Yet. 1673. The emperor, now 19, makes his move. Orders all 3 feudatories to disband their armies and retire to Beijing. Translation: surrender your power or be destroyed. Wu's choice: submit and die a prisoner, or rebel and die a traitor. He chooses rebellion. 1673 to 1676. The revolt of the 3 feudatories explodes. 11 provinces, half of southern China, in open war against the Qing. Wu crowns himself emperor, not of the Qing, not even of the Ming. He declares a new dynasty, the Zhou, named after a kingdom that died 2,000 years ago. The man who killed the Ming now wraps himself in their ghost. 1676. The rebellion starts to crack. One of Wu's allied feudatories surrenders to the Qing, then the other. Wu's empire shrinks from 11 provinces to 4, then 2. Qing armies close in from 3 directions. Wu retreats deeper into Yunnan. His supply lines collapse. His soldiers desert. Here's what happens when you build a rebellion on revenge instead of the mandate. Your soldiers don't fight for heaven. They fight for loot. When the loot runs out, they leave. 1677. Famine in Wu's territories. Crops abandoned. Granaries empty. His own troops looting villages for food. His treasury? Empty. His granaries? Looted. His allies? Gone. 1678. Disease. Dysentery sweeping through his camps. The casualties aren't from Qing bullets. They're from slow starvation and infected water. Wu's empire is eating itself. Wu opened Shanhai Pass to avenge his father. Now he's watching his own empire collapse the same way the Ming did. Rebellions, famine, soldiers abandoning their posts. Heaven doesn't reward traitors twice. Heaven was just getting started. Heaven doesn't punish with lightning. It punishes with patterns. 3 days after Wu opened Shanhai Pass in 1644, Beijing's palaces burned. Li Zicheng torched the Forbidden City's western halls before fleeing, the smoke visible for 50 miles. The Imperial Library, 300 years of records, turned to ash. 6 weeks after Manchu banners rose over Beijing, mass suicides swept the capital. Ming officials who refused to serve the Qing hanged themselves in their homes. Entire families drank poison together. Court records documented over 1,000 scholar officials dead by their own hand. 1644 to 1652, 8 years of civil war. Ming loyalist armies in the south, rebel holdouts in the west, Qing armies hunting down every last prince. Conservative estimates place total deaths during the Ming-Qing transition at 25 million. That's more than World War I. Heaven's message at Shanhai Pass, clear. Heaven's message during the 3 Feudatories revolt, identical. 1673 to 1681, 8 years of war again. The provinces Wu claimed to liberate became killing fields. Hunan, Guangxi, Sichuan, Yunnan. 1676. Famine in rebel territories. Crops abandoned during fighting. Granaries looted by both sides. Survivors eating bark and leather. No rain for 18 months in parts of Yunnan. 1677 to 1678. Disease outbreaks in Wu's armies. Dysentery, typhus, plague. His own soldiers rotting in camp faster than the Qing could kill them. The pattern never changed. Invite chaos to settle a grudge, and heaven answers with more chaos. Wu broke the cosmic law twice. First, invited foreign conquest to solve a personal grudge. Heaven's rule was absolute. No emperor who opens the door to outside cavalry keeps the mandate. Second, tried to seize a mandate heaven had already revoked. The famine, the disease, the collapsing alliances, these weren't bad luck. They were divine correction. Heaven debugged the system. Wu was the corrupted file. Right now, Shanhai Pass still stands. Tourists walk the same stone steps Wu walked in 1644. The gates are locked now, permanently. A museum piece. The Great Wall couldn't keep the Manchus out because the man guarding it opened the door himself. The irony sits there in the stone, preserved, unchanging. October 2nd, 1678. Wu Sangui dies in his temporary capital, somewhere in Hunan, fleeing Qing advances. Age 66, worn out. Still calling himself emperor of a dynasty that controlled less territory every month. His grandson tries to continue the rebellion. Lasts 3 more years. 1681, final defeat. The Qing execute Wu's entire family line. Every son, every grandson, every male descendant they can find. Wu's score, 2 betrayals, 30 years of power. A crown he wore for 5 years while running from the Qing army. Heaven's score, 2 dead dynasties, 50 million dead across both wars. Wu's bloodline extinct. Heaven wins, every single time. The stone remembers, the tourists don't. They take wedding photos on the same steps where Wu made his choice, smiling, unaware. The wall still stands. The dynasty doesn't. The mandate moved on. The Qing dynasty Wu helped install ruled China for 267 years until 1912. The Ming Dynasty Wu betrayed? Dead in 1644, never returned. Wu's restored Zhou dynasty? Collapsed in 1681, remembered by no one except historians cataloging failed rebellions. In Chinese popular memory, Wu Sangui has one title, Han Jian, traitor to the Han people. Not hero, not tragic figure, traitor. The man who opened the gate that killed an empire. Today, Shanhai Pass is a World Heritage Site, the eastern terminus of the Great Wall. Plaques describe the 1644 battle, the Ming collapse, the Qing rise. Wu Sangui's name appears in small print, a footnote, a warning. The gate he opened is sealed now, has been for 380 years. For 5,000 years, the pattern never changed. Open the gate to foreign power, and heaven makes sure you never close it again. Wu learned that lesson twice. It killed him both times. Next time, the emperor who buried 460 scholars alive to silence them. He succeeded. For 2,200 years, his tomb remained sealed, guarded by rivers of liquid mercury.